I've always felt that there's times, and every coach is guilty of it, where you talk about the scheme, this our offensive system. This player has to do this, this, and this. And the system to me isn't worth anything if any player can't fit in your system. You have to have a system that utilizes any talent, any player that becomes available to you. If not, maximizing your resources. So I think that's a very basic general approach that we've all can be guilty of. Don't think of plays, think of players. And that's something Marty Schottenheimer taught me as a young coach, and I never get too far away from that.
Good people, it's your boy Mr. Rome, Cowboys Fan Talk, right back like I never left. What's up with y'all, man? How y'all feeling? Me, I'm feeling phenomenal. You know why? Because I learned something about our head coach today. Yes. You are doing yourself a disservice if you don't acknowledge the past and look for answers in the past. You have to learn from your mistakes, learn from your wins, your accolades. You have to be willing to be open to go back to learn. And that's why I find it funny that a lot of our rivals want us to ignore our past. That's where you find the answers, baby. You know what I'm saying? Because if you don't research the past, understand where you might have went wrong, you're doomed to make the same mistakes. Or if you research the past, you might find the answers to questions that you didn't even know yet. Pay attention. Mike McCarthy. I'm sure you heard the clip already when you first clicked on the video. Mike McCarthy said something in that clip that really has me with my eyes open. See, the reason what I was digging for, I'm digging into this whole Mike McCarthy quarterback school thing. See, Mike McCarthy used to run a quarterback school with all of his quarterbacks. As one of his things that he picked up probably from other coaches. But one of those things where you review all of your bad throws from the previous year and your good throws, digging into the past, and just trying to understand where you went wrong, what your decision process was in that particular play, etc. It's something they used to do with Aaron Rodgers. I think he did it. I forgot if Mike McCarthy was Brett Favre, but I know was with Brett Favre, but I know he's done it at all his stops, and I don't know who taught him that. But I am excited about it because I feel like finally we're going to have somebody that can break down the mistakes Dak may have made. Yes, I can say that. Don't flip out. And maybe some of the decision-making processes and where you were going, maybe the philosophy was different under Kellen, and Mike wants to go another direction. But hearing him say, you don't want to get too boneheaded, too rigid with scheme. See, Kellen Moore and my boy Jay Tuck, Boss Cowboy, Vach, Law, everyone has been saying this forever, and I hope y'all been paying attention. Everybody. Kellen Moore was so scheme dependent. His scheme, although it was called the no ID offense, basically I have these offensive scheme concepts that can beat anybody with any player. It don't matter what player. I don't need receivers. You can trade Amari Cooper, etc., etc. And it's crazy to me that our front office bought into it. It's a silly concept. You've heard Kurt Warner come out and dispel that whole, you got to get the ball to your playmakers. You've heard Troy Aikman, Hall of Fame Troy Aikman, say, I don't know why they weren't trying to get the ball to CeeDee Lamb, Amari Cooper, etc. in previous years' losses in the playoffs. And it's one of those things where it was glaring that our offense really didn't know what to do when it was time to get particular players involved in the game. We didn't have a strategy or anything like that. You've heard Mike McCarthy say in the past, I used to have specific play sheets for my best players on the team. Like you'd have the regular play sheet, and then it's like, okay, I got these 15 plays. These are CD plays. Depending on the down distance, circumstance, I got to play for any scenario to make sure CD can get open. The play design is going to make sure he can get open. But to hear him say players over plays, the thing that I kept thinking about is he wants to highlight specific skill sets. And we got the players for it. We know CeeDee Lamb is a yak monster. Yak monster. Make sure you get the ball in his hands quick. West Coast system. Three-step drop ball out. And let him work his magic. Yes, he can go deep and catch footballs. Yes, and there'll be plays designed for that. let's not worry about option routes and having CD slow down, think too much. Should I go under the linebacker, over the linebacker, depending on where the safety shading? Like, no, let's have our players do what they're best at. Michael Gallup, great at high pointing the football. We're going to make sure that in certain plays and toe tapping on the sideline, athleticism out this world. We're going to make sure that in those scenarios, when we're close to the red zone, there will be plays designed for Michael Gallup. High pointing the football, things that he's amazing at. Why wouldn't you? Then you got Brandon Cooks, deep ball assassin, veteran, amazing with change of direction and speed, and really just knows how to get open in different zones. We're going to make sure we have plays for you. But then you start getting real nuance. What's the best plays for Tony Pollard? I was talking to my boy Jay Tuck yesterday on the live, and he's talking about how Schottenheimer likes to run a power run scheme. See, we were running out of pass sets and catching and then running and not being aggressive and running with a purpose. See, that's a video that's coming up soon. Just talking about that. That's something I want us to do this year. But having plays designed for Tony Pollard specifically, not just I'm running the football with no type of plan, rhyme, or reason. I'm not building toward another play and play action or anything. I'm just picking plays. Y'all know Kellen Moore joystick. He just be picking stuff. So players over plays. That's my new thing. Players over plays. The players are going to dictate what plays you're going to run because you're going to highlight their skill sets. Hunter Lipke, somebody that people are very excited about. Physical, fullback, and physique, but very versatile. They say he might be able to line up at tight end, fullback, some halfback stuff. Like, versatile player. Finding ways to get him some stuff in short yardage. You know what I'm saying? Maybe getting him some plays similar to Kyle Juszczyk. You know, just highlighting your plays. We got tight ends that can stretch the field now. Schoonmaker's extremely fast. Ferguson showed you he had wiggle last year. Hendershot can stretch the field. A lot different than we had in Dalton Schultz. So utilizing them. Just understand that, look, Deuce Vaughn, probably going to be crazy to tackle him in I was going to curse, but crazy to tackle him in open space. I was going to say H-E, you know what I'm saying? But heck to tackle him in open space because he's so shifty, small, and it's going to be frustrating. So what do? Get him the football in open space. Let him work his magic. You just got to be smart. We got an exponential amount of weapons. You got somebody like Simi Fuhoku, who's excited to be in the West Coast system. You got Jalen Tolbert, and that's our third and fifth receiver. Whatever order you want to put it in. Like, we have the offensive weapons. Now it's just up to our coaching staff, from Schottenheimer to Mike McCarthy, to know what they want to do to attack. And that's why when Dak, see, all these videos starting to make sense. It's starting to go together. You know, that's why when I watched the clip, hearing McCarthy say, you want to be players over plays, it just made more sense. I was like, okay. Because you want to establish identity. You want a power run game. And power run game doesn't mean, well, you need a power back. No. You want to be at the point of attack, physical, coming off the ball, trying to move people. Not just trying to attack angles and like, I just feel like our run game was just kind of soft. Not that we didn't gain yards, not that Tony Pollard ain't dynamic, not that Zeke Elliott didn't punish people. I'm talking about the way our offensive line was coached was to fall back in the pass sets because we always was looking to pass and not when we're running to run and move people off the ball. Like, it's just different. It's different. I'm going to continue to dig for some more nuggets on this quarterback school thing, but I would love y'all thoughts on the concept of players over plays and why it's important to highlight your players. Kurt Warner was preaching that last year. Like, why is Dallas trying to force the ball to other people? And unfortunately, in our first playoff loss to San Fran. And we seem to have learned our lesson. We just ain't had no dogs. CeeDee Lamb went out there and got 120 yards almost. He did his job. Tony Pollard was getting busy before he got hurt. So it seemed like Kellen Moore was learning his lesson. But sometimes when you're green and young, you got a lot more to learn. Mike McCarthy is very experienced in play calling. And I think that experience, coupled with our desire and drive this year, is going to make magic. It's your boy, Mr. Rome, man. I'll holla.